Hey, how's it going? So I guess we're going to talk about your first big buck.
First one over 200.
Your first one over
Yep.
200 that you ever
Yep.
shot. You know, and I don't really know if I know much about this story.
Yeah.
One good thing you do, I should preface the whole thing with, is you keep a journal.
I do.
And you've been pretty diligent about.
Yeah, since I started the journal, I've never missed a day that I've spent in the field.
I'm not as good.
Hunting or fishing, I've never missed a day, and I can't tell you, it's 4 journals. I can't tell you how many years it's been. And I really don't know, Paul, if that first 200-pound deer that I shot, if I was journaling at the time. I can't remember if I journaled that or not. I'd have to check. Yeah.
So that year would have been, that was your second year.
Second year deer camp.
So first year, no one shot a deer. Right?
Nobody
you
shot a deer.
guys only hunted 3 days though.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think probably you're right.
And you should have, because you guys saw a lot of deer.
There was a lot of deer in the
deer.
area. It was a brand new area.
Again, you guys were young.
We were young men, early 20s.
Yeah.
Early 20s. We were living the dream. We had a beautiful camp to go to in the middle of
nowhere.
In the middle of
No hunting
nowhere,
pressure.
and lots of deer, lots of
big deer.
lots of big deer.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was. You know, looking back, you don't realize what you had then. We
thought it was going to be around forever.
Yeah, we were very fortunate, and we had a good time. We had a lot of fun. It was our second year, and like I say, we were all young men. We had gone down what we call the Mushroom Road, dead end road, and we were on a side.
Same spot I shot that 12-pointer.
Same spot you shot the 12-pointer.
Yeah.
And Dale was with me, and we found a track, and we started tracking it off the Mushroom Road, and we did not, as I remember, we didn't go very far. We only went a little ways, and we saw the deer running, you know, and I pulled up and I fired. I wasn't shy about throwing lead if I could see the buck, and
That's not very ethical.
well, it is the way I hunt, and the way most people in northern Maine trackers hunt. You're not going to wait for.
Some people really get up in arms.
Well, if they don't hunt up here the way we hunt. If you get a shot on snow, I mean, you're basically.
I will say, and I've heard other people say this: shooting at a running deer, you either get it or you miss it completely.
Yeah.
If you got snow and you get one into it,
you're going to get
pretty well going to get it.
Yeah, you're.
Otherwise, you've missed it completely, and it's.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. There's a big difference between shooting at a running deer with snow on the ground and on bare ground, because you get snow and there again I've lost them. I've lost the snow. I've had the rain take away the snow and lost a deer that normally under the right conditions I would have been able to recover to find. But this one, it was running, and I fired, and we didn't go very far again, and the deer was standing there broadside, and I shot it then. I killed it, and when we get up there, I had grazed the neck. I the first shot. He just ran a little ways and stopped, and broadside, all open, close.
Standing there looking at you.
Me, and I finished it off.
It had a pretty heavy rack on it.
Yeah, it had a real nice rack. Yeah, that ended up, I think it was just over 200. I think it was 205. And there again, we're talking Thanksgiving week.
End of November. Beginning of the deer camp week, or?
I think it might have been the end, Paul. Generally, when we hunted, for whatever reason, we always did better from Thanksgiving until Saturday, the last day.
Well, I think
those last 3 days always seemed to be the days we would kill deer in.
I think a lot of that stems from you kind of figure out what the deer are doing the first half of the week.
Yeah.
And then you kind of catch your groove.
Yeah.
Say Wednesday. So you're kind of like, all right, I kind of got a feeling what's going on and where deer are.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, you're kind of feeling everything out early in the week, and, trying to figure out where they are and what they're doing. And then by the end of the week,
you're pretty well onto it.
Yeah. That year.
I think everyone shot a deer that year, because, I mean,
we had some deer. Dean got a beautiful
9-pointer?
9 or 10-pointer. You get a beautiful deer.
that was a nice deer. I remember those pictures.
that was a mature buck. It was
I think there was a couple doe shot.
Yeah, yeah.
And then,
all in the same area, by the way.
so you grazed that deer in the neck for a shot, which reminds me of another deer that you kind of did the same thing to.
Yeah.
You were coming out. Was it you were coming out of that area and you saw where a bunch of deer across the road that afternoon?
Yeah.
And you went back in the next morning?
I had been hunting in the general area, but in further. In fact, where we've always shot deer, where we're talking about that 205 pounder there, I was in that area, and in the afternoon when I come out, in around the brook, there was a lot of deer had gone across. It was snowing during the day there, and a lot of deer had gone back and forth across the road, and I thought, well, Tuesday I'm going in there, and I'm gonna hunt this area where these deer are crossing. And so I went in Tuesday, and it was maybe just there was a little turnoff there, just a few hundred yards before the brook, and deer had gone down in there, and I just started down in there, and there again, I don't think I went 100 yards down in there in the woods, and a doe took off. I see the doe, and then the buck took off, and I pulled up and found an opening and shot, and there again, I hit him in the neck. I grazed the neck.
It wasn't a mortal shot by any
That was 1992. That was, my dad died November 13th, 1992. It was right after Dad died. And it was not a mortal shot, but all that deer wanted to do was lay down.
Yeah.
You know, he wouldn't run very far, and he would lay down. And I was going way too fast, you know, trying to catch up to him and finish him
when you're
off.
young and
I was excited, and I went way too fast. If I had just slowed down, I could have ended up killing him in his bed, probably the first or second time, and it ended up, I think I jumped him up 3 or 4 times there before I finished him off. But he let me get close to him every time. I would just be going too fast, too much in a hurry, and he'd jump up and I'd shoot at him. And
that first shot, and I got a picture of that too. It put a hole kind of in his throat.
Yeah.
But it was more of a grazing.
Wasn't anything that
they're a tough animal.
Yeah, it wasn't a mortal shot. And like I say, and the funny thing was that sometimes when they get wounded, their immediate reaction is they want to lay down. He just wanted to lay down.
That one was close to 200.
That was, I think, 190. It was a 10-pointer.
And you guys think it was an old? Did you have that one aged?
I did not, but by the look of the rack, it looked like an older deer there.
Wide rack, but short tines on it, and really gnarly at the bases and stuff. Yeah, really gnarly. I'm assuming that may be an older deer. Maybe that was the deal. He was old and just was like, I give up.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Yeah. I
don't have it in me.
Yeah. I can remember I got him out. I was by myself. The guys, for some reason that year, they weren't hunting in that area where we usually hunt. I don't know, they found another area and they wanted to hunt somewhere else. I was the only one going back in there. And I drug him out by myself. And I remember there's a spring. I was so thirsty. I worked pretty hard to get him out. And there was a spring, and by the road on my way out, and I stopped and got a nice cool drink there out of the spring. I was so happy.
Yeah, that was a nice deer.
Yeah,
a lot of big deer in that area.
Yeah, I don't want to make it sound like it was easy, but there was some easy hunts. That was an easy hunt. We know that they don't always come that easy and stuff. And
no,
that was an easy hunt.
No. So hope you enjoyed the story.
Yeah.
I guess we'll probably tell some more shortly.
Yeah.
So until next time, get outside. It's good for the soul. Oh, see ya.